can't quite begin to express how I feel right now. My very last night in Bonn. I guess I'm in a bit of a state of shock. One minute I feel happy, one minute I feel sad. One minute I even feel like crying. This has been my life for so long, and it's such a big and sudden farewell, even though I've been planning for years to do this. Now it's finally arrived. I'm leaving Deutsche Telekom, I'm leaving Bonn, I'm leaving Germany, and I'll probably never return to see any of these places again. Well, no, Germany I will. I will come back to Germany, but I'm not sure I will come to Bonn, and certainly I won't go back to see my colleagues, because Devon's just such a long way away, and that's how life is, and I have to throw myself into this next chapter and not dwell on the old one. But at the moment, the old chapter hasn't quite finished. I'm still here, feeling very strange. Just had a veggie burger in a restaurant, in a nice restaurant, with a glass of beer, and then decided I could, even though I thought about having a glass of wine, I thought I better not, because it feels so emotional, and I don't know whether it'd be wise to hit the bottle at this moment in time. So anyway, I'll have another look at Bonn in the morning before I set off to Brussels. But right now, I'm in a state of shock, I would say. And I suppose this is part of the grieving process that I've got to go through. But I'm sure I'll get over it all quickly. But I thought I would let you know how I'm feeling right now. Right, good morning from Bonn in Germany. This is my very last morning here. I've just had a lovely vegan bagel and a coffee in a delightful little restaurant in town. I'm now going to do one more little errand before catching a train to Brussels. I'm going to try and catch an earlier train so that I can stop off in Cologne and have an hour there, just to have one last look at another one of my favourite cities. But first I have to sort out some stuff here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop to the post amt, a beautiful building off this square here, I'll show you in a second. And I'm going to post a letter to request a change of address at one of the two banks I have here. I was going to pop into the bank, but I know that's not normally good for my mental well-being. I tried to sort out the change of address with the other bank that I have here. Took 3 attempts. The last attempt was partially successful, so the address has now been changed. But I asked them to cancel my credit card from the end of this year so that I can still use it until then, but I don't really want to pay charges on a credit card I'm not going to use much after this. So that was all sorted out. I signed the forms, got back to my hotel and found the credit card had been cancelled immediately. So that's not exactly what I asked for, but it's what I've got. So that means now I've got to travel back to Brussels without a German credit card. But luckily I have a Revolut card, which I've got some euros on, so I can use that. There's the Beethoven statue there. Beethoven was born in Bonn. You'll find images of him all over the city. They're very proud of him, understandably. Okay, that's all done. It was me talking about my experiences in the bank, and there was a fella in the post office there in the queue trying to get something sorted, and he was getting so irate that I think they might have called the police. Hopefully that will be all sorted soon, and my job is done, and now I can make my way slowly to the railway station just down here. So catch up with you later. Bye bye Bonn.
Wir begrüßen Sie im RE5 nach Wiesel. Nächster Halt, Brühl.
So here I am in the impressive city of Cologne. I love this place. I'm going to stay here for about an hour before getting my train onto Brussels. I was going to walk around a little bit and show you some of it today, but as I'm running a half marathon the day after tomorrow, and I'm feeling pretty exhausted after the week I've had, then I decided I'm not going to exert myself too much. So I'll show you a couple of photos now of previous visits I've had to this wonderful city. See that bridge there that crosses the Rhine? That is one hell of an entrance to the railway station here in Cologne. It's so impressive, as is the whole of this station. That is magnificent. So now I've arrived in Brussels. It's a beautiful evening, Friday night. It's all looking very busy, vibrant, multicultural as always. Fantastic place, absolutely love it here. Spent many times here too. Not as many times as in Cologne, but it's a place we've visited often. Right, because I don't want to wear myself out for my half marathon that I keep going on about, I'm now going to find myself a bar, have a couple of Leffe beers probably, maybe a bite to eat, and finish off reading a book that my daughter lent to me. There are several beautiful Belgian cities. I'm not sure it's well known, certainly in the UK, that Belgium has so much to offer in terms of city breaks. but they really are extraordinarily beautiful. Obviously Brussels is well known, Bruges, Ghent. But they all have these wonderful squares surrounded by magnificent buildings. So that appears to be some graduation ceremony going on behind me. What a setting for that, eh? Incredible. I'll be going to one of those myself in a month or so to see my daughter. I wonder if the setting will be like this. Right, I just spent as long as I possibly could in a restaurant on my own. Had a small bottle of Beaujolais Villages and a lovely vegetarian paella. Glass of water. Came outside 2.5 hours later, and the graduation ceremony over there is still going on. So that is one hell of an event that's taking place. But it's lovely to see, and I'm sure all those young people there deserve their special night. So I, being a inexperienced YouTuber, I tend to check my videos before going back home, just in case there was any kind of disaster. And what I noticed is the video earlier did have a problem. I made a rookie error. I had a Apple Maps navigation system working as I was walking along talking. And as I played the video back, I noticed the announcements drowned out my own voice, so it kind of spoiled what I was saying. Maybe what I was saying was not that good anyway, I don't know. So just in case I can't sort that out in the editing process, I just thought I'd tell you what I was trying to tell you earlier. Not that it's that interesting, but I was saying that the train journey here was really quite nice. But there were a couple of little incidents. One where the woman tried to get off the train and couldn't find her luggage. I couldn't help her with that. I don't know whether she found it in the end or not, but anyway, it was a bit of drama. Then the other young lady was sat by me and we were talking away and helped to get her luggage off the rack. And then she stood there as we approached her station, which was Liège. She was going there on holiday, and she was looking at her phone, and the train pulled into the station and she was still looking at her phone, and I thought, shall I say something or not? Surely she knows we're there. But so then I said, you do know we're at the station? And she went, oh gosh, and she rushed off. And I don't know whether she got off the train in time or not, or whether she ended up somewhere else. But yeah, being the father of two young women of similar age, I do feel a slight obligation to help these people when I see them getting into these situations. One other reflection as I spend my last night in the EU before going back to the UK is the cultural difference on a Friday night. Now, our new place where we live, we're right in the town centre. That's one of the reasons we're not going to have a car. There's nowhere to park the car. And on a Friday and a Saturday night, it gets so raucous. It gets very, very lively, to the extent that one night I actually had to call the police. I was rather concerned about the well-being of a young child who's parents were having a very aggressive argument. But it is, yeah, it's a bit wild on the high streets in Britain on a Friday and a Saturday night. We live right by 2 pubs plus a bar where they play live music. But here in Europe, even on a night like this, when there's all this celebration going on, it's just very different, you know. There seems to be less, I don't know, less tension, less aggression. I don't know, we go a bit crazy in Britain, and I'm not knocking it because I was the same when I was younger. My goodness, I've had my fair share of wild nights out. But I suppose I've just got used to something that's a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more calm. The kind of place where even though people are drinking a lot, you feel happy to bring your family, you know. And I hope I'm going to be okay living in England. I think I've been having this, as I said in my video last night from Bonn. My emotions are all over the place at the moment. But the one emotion I've been having today a little bit is panic. Thinking to myself, oh my goodness, am I going to be okay living in this remote part of England? It just seems so far away, and the culture just seems so very different to here in Europe. But I'm sure I'm going to be okay, you know. To be honest with you, the people there are just so friendly. There's such a lovely community. I think it's going to be fine. I think I'm just having some jitters before I make this massive change in my life. But maybe as you look at these buildings behind me and you hear this atmosphere, and this is a Friday night, remember, when people are out drinking, maybe you'll understand why I'm having some thoughts about this, having a little bit of a wobble. But anyway, at the end of the day, this place isn't so far away, is it? I think I'll be making regular trips to the continent of Europe. Anyway, I'm now going to wander around a bit more. And this is the first time I've made a YouTube video whilst under the influence of alcohol. So it'll be interesting to see whether I include this in the final version I send out. Right, good morning from Brussels. Now I remember why I gave up drinking alcohol. Had the worst night's sleep. Feeling rather tired, shall we say, this morning. I hope I behaved myself on the video I recorded last night. I only had half a bottle of wine and a glass of beer, but that was enough to really disrupt my night's sleep. Anyway, luckily I am excited about today, and I'm savouring these last moments in Brussels, so I don't feel too bad. There's no serious hangover, so everything's okay. I'm just going to get the tram now to Brussels Midi station, try and get myself checked into the Eurostar, and then I'll grab some breakfast hopefully. Anyway, all the best, and look at these beautiful buildings behind me. I'll just give you a quick view. A bit quieter than it was last night now, isn't it? Okay, off I go, onto the tram. See you in a bit. So here I am. 15 years, 6 months, 27 days after I stood on this platform and left for Germany. I have finally returned back to the UK. Feels very strange. maybe because I'm a little bit tired, and there was a lot of young lads on the coach making a lot of noise on the journey, so I've got a bit of a headache. But at the moment, yeah, it feels quite good to be in England, but yeah, I don't feel over the moon. So we will see how I feel later and how I feel tomorrow after doing the half marathon.
Well done, guys. We've got Sophie and Chris Robinson. Well done. Well done.
So here I am back in England. You might not be surprised to know. But anyway, I've made it after a really challenging, exciting and emotional week. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Managed to complete the half marathon, as you probably can tell from the little clip I've just shown. So that was a fantastic end to one hell of a week for me. So yep, that's it. Hope you're well wherever you are. Take care of yourselves and see you again soon. Thanks then, bye.